What is going on, guys? Rodney here with cryptobros. Welcome to today's video. We're going to be taking a dive into Nucleus Vision. I'll be the first to say that this is a project that I've overlooked. I've overlooked, since it came out, since it hit Binance, and I'll tell you why. If you think back, they were doing, and when they had like their ICO. They have a ton of tokens, and we'll get into that later, but they did an airdrop, and they were giving away a bunch of free tokens for people if you signed up through their Telegram and did all these different things. I actually did that. I should probably look to see if those actually hit my my Trezor address. I haven't done that yet, but that was one thing, and I get it. You might judge me for this, but that just kind of turned me off. Like, why would they be giving this project or giving these tokens away? I didn't do a ton of research into it. I knew it was like a retail-based thing. After doing a little bit more digging, I have, it's got some real-world use cases. It's got a little bit of history. It's not like it popped up mid-2017 and we're in the, just in the Q2 in 2018. Like, it's got some backing behind it. So I've done a little bit more digging. Today we're going to do a quick review. I'm going to talk about use cases. Might do a little price speculation on where it could go. I think this is, a long-term play because there's going to be a big adoption period of this. But what I like about it is it's an Internet of Things type of project, and I am into those because I think that type of stuff is the next wave. So all that being said, let's get into today's video. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that. Creating new video content all day. All day. That's not true. I create quite a few videos over the course of a week, so if you want to get in on those, by all means, hit that subscribe button, and I appreciate everyone giving the likes and the dislikes. I will say people are sending me like weird death threat, kill yourself stuff on this Tron video because they didn't watch it all. I wasn't discrediting the project. I was talking about the human psychology of it, but whatever. That is the risk you take. So anyway, let's get into today's video. Here is the Nucleus Vision website. It is nucleus.vision, and you can kind of scroll through here, take a quick peek. Fairly clean website. But let's talk about what this project actually is, and then we'll do some stuff about price points and blah, blah, blah. So what Nucleus Vision is actually looking to do is they have like a retail purpose. So I don't know if you guys have seen that one weird, it's not even weird, that it's like an Amazon ad where the guy walks into the store and it kind of scans him on the way in, then he goes and he takes something off the shelf and fills his basket and he walks right out. This is kind of along the lines of the same concept on what they're trying to do. And the Ncash token, the is basically like the currency that backs this type of stuff. So in terms of a like of a real world use case, imagine you are going into a store. We'll pick one of their partners down here. We're going to use Gap. So imagine that you're in the mall and you go into Gap. They have this system set up that recognizes that you are in the store and that you are going to buy something or you're looking at stuff, whatever. And they can kind of tailor their, their customer service and their needs towards you just based on you walking into the store. Now, let's say you go over to the pants section because you love Gap jeans. You go over there, you look at the, the pants or whatever, and you decide maybe not today. They're like, I don't know, 60 bucks, and you're like, I don't need these jeans that bad, and you leave. 2 weeks later, you go back into the store. You're back in there, and maybe you're in the same aisle. Well, it's tracking and calculating all of this data. And I get that sounds kind of scary, but there's websites that kind of do this stuff as it is already. Like, think about Facebook and the information that it takes from you. Weird example, my friend was telling me about ButcherBox literally 2 days ago. I've never searched it, never looked at it, never done anything about ButcherBox. Sure enough, I hop on Instagram. There's a ButcherBox ad, and that was yesterday. Then today, I jump on my Facebook. What do you know, ButcherBox ad? So this type of thing where people are collecting your data is already happening. These stores would be doing it in the same way. So anyway, back to our example. You're back in the same store, and you're looking at these pants again. Maybe they understand you left without buying. Maybe via your cell phone they text you, like here's a 10% off coupon, and then it's like, well, that's enough to push you over the edge to secure the sale on their part. I'll be honest, maybe one of the better videos in terms of retail use cases is actually an Ian Balina video. I should show you guys it. I'll post it in the link below. And him talking about that he is on this team. And what they're doing is they're kind of basically taking like an e-commerce platform and putting it into a brick and mortar store. So if you're like on Amazon or Amazon Prime, maybe every day or whatever, you'll get an email that says like, hey, check out these vitamins or this pre-workout or something based on something you looked at before. They're kind of taking that concept and applying it to a full retail brick and mortar scenario. As you can see here, there's a bunch of brands that are jumping on board. I do think this will be a little bit of an adoption process and where they're going with this, but I think it's something that, you know, sounds a little maybe futuristic at the time being, but you know, 3, 4, 5 years down the road, maybe this is the new norm. So again, we are going to be focusing on their retail stuff today. And again, I'm just scrolling through this you know, website, and this is kind of how it breaks it down, and I'll cover that in just a second. But it says, here's your retailer. You walk in, the store has a sensor. It senses your customer identity, sends data over to a secure orbit layer, you know, creates real-time personals, and then customer gets recommendations. Again, in the example they're using in these videos right here, this dude, I'm not going to play this, but you can totally check this out. This dude wants to buy a suit for a date. He was looking at stuff online, then he goes in the store, and it kind of, you know, goes through that whole process with them. When he walks in, you know, he actually has the choice to, you know, select whether he wants to get the Nucleus or the Ncash token. So if you walk into a store and this is going on, you know, you can choose to give out your data or keep it. And if you give out your data, you would collect some type of bounty in terms of Ncash. So you walk in the store, it says, you know, hey Rodney, do you want to share whatever it is with this store? And you would either hit yes or no. If you hit yes, it's like, thank you so much for sharing this data. Here's 100 Ncash tokens, and you can actually collect and earn tokens that way. And then you can also use those same tokens to pay for whatever it is you're going to buy. So that is very, very cool. What I like about this, and actually we'll flip over to this page in just a second, but it says path-breaking proprietary technology. Nucleus Vision IoT sensors don't depend on RFID, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or even facial recognition technologies to operate. There's no app, there's no barriers to adoption. Why I like this is that they're not saying to be active, you have to download the app to do all these different things. And that can be like a big commitment for people if you think about it. Like, let's think about Storm, right? There, you know, you can earn bolts, you have to download the apps, you have to do all these tasks, people have to jump on board, and that's great. But with this, you don't have to really do anything, and it's trying to help protect like your data, provides anonymous intelligence, and it works with all cell phones. So it doesn't matter if you're iPhone, Android, whatever it is. We're actually going to flip over to this product now. So here, what you can see is here's their little sensor. And there's a video on the homepage, and I'll refer to that in just a second, that shows how this works. This is in the store. It is plug and play. As I said before, you know, it's technology agnostic, you know, no dependency on an app, no Bluetooth, no Wi-Fi. It runs straight off your cell phone signal. What I think is great about that, again, is you just don't have to do anything to participate in this. And maybe some people will take this on because there's a chance to earn, you know, Ncash tokens. So anyway, keeps your data secure, sends information transmissions via blockchain, plug and play. Literally what they're saying is that you would plug this thing into your store and stuff would be, you know, enabled. So very cool idea there. Again, futuristic. I get it. You know, I like to say that I like to be very private with my information, and I try to do that right. I use I use NordVPN, like on my online stuff, and protective. I mean, here I am making videos, so I get that sounds weird, but I think that in terms of this, like if it can get a large adoption, and that is their plan down the line, this can be used in not only stores but in all types of other industries, and they are, you know, they're calculating that now, or they're working on that. So we can see this. I thought was actually pretty cool, this live data feed. So they're live in 10 retail stores. They have over 100,000 unique identifications, and I get that as a small percentage in terms of the entire world. But right now, I think they're active over in like India. So fair enough. Successful authorizations, recommendations, and offers sent. So here's all their live number. I think that's pretty cool. Kind of reminds me of that McDonald's thing from back in the day where it's like, yeah, it's a billion served, whatever. They ran out of the nines on their little their boards, if you guys remember that. They used to like change the numbers on the McDonald's place of how many customers they had. Anyway, stupid tangent. So anyway, let's go over to like their roadmap. This is pretty cool. What I like about this, so here's a perfect example. So yeah, this would be a perfect example of what they're trying to do, right? They want to send me some type of push notification. And if we think about this in the retail world, maybe you're in the store and it sends you a coupon because you were looking at shoes on the internet and it says, hey, do you want to check out these new running shoes or whatever? Like, here's 20% off if you want to buy. That is where they're trying to also take like this e-commerce based platform and put it into the brick and mortar stores. We are checking out the roadmap. We're going to buzz through this really quickly, but it says incepted at Harvard Business School, obviously a big name in Harvard. Research under Harvard professor, 408 interviews with brands, investors, and startups. 2014, they was their angel investor round, and this is from Tim Draper. You guys may know him or dislike him, but he does a lot. He's a billionaire. He is an early, and you can actually see he's in the news here. Tim Draper calls India's crypto stance a huge mistake. Billionaire Tim Draper takes crypto ban in India. So early adopter, Silicon Valley billionaire, has a lot of things going for him. Love him or hate him, that's totally up to you guys. But he backed this project. Here we go. Silicon Valley legend Tim Draper, Bitcoin and crypto will take over the world, right? Some bold statements. A believer, an early adopter, guy obviously knows what he's doing. So it's totally up to you whether you decide you like him or agree with him or not. So anyway, he is the angel investor here. And then they're also talking about the 100 brands and the four telecoms. They came up with their proof of concept around 2015. 2016, product fully developed, which is huge. That doesn't always guarantee success, but it's not like they took everyone's, like, when they did their ICO stuff, they took everyone's money, then developed it afterwards. They developed, tested, worked through a project, and gathered partnerships and all these different things. Also, very, what's the word that I want? Like, they basically put their puzzle together. They before they laid anything out, before they took stuff to market, they're not in this crazy development stage that we see a lot of other tokens or coins or projects in. Official product launch, Ion servers deployed. Those are those little boxes. Telecom partnerships, neuron compounding systems. So that's the stuff that kind of collects all the data, uses this type of smart technology to match up and make the best suggestions. Blah blah blah. Users identified 30K. Retail expansion. We're actually going to skip down just so we can go and kind of check out to see where they're going here. So deploy in 25 stores. Ion sensors deployed at 50. Telecom partnerships 4. Coalition loyalty programs 100K. Users identified. And this kind of just takes in, and this is like a regional part right here. Now, scale across India, scale across Southeast Asia. And I think this is probably going to be the big one here. Scale across North America. And again, this is in the retail space, stores and stuff. But if we kind of flip back, and man, I'm not going to go through all of this. You guys can check it out. They just basically talk about breaking into different industries. They want to go into security. They want to go into medical. Like, think about like if you went into a hospital and you broke your arm or you had an allergic reaction or something. Like, this same type of thing would give your information to that desk clerk. So if you're in an excruciating amount of pain, it's not like, here, fill out this waiver, blah blah blah, take a seat in triage, whatever it is. So there is that. You guys can also check out, like, if you go to this this little menu here, you can actually check out, let me move my skull. You can check out, if you go to this documents tab right here, you can go check out their white papers. I just have the one pager up right here. in terms of a quick read and kind of getting an idea of what it is. Like, it just kind of talks about it here, founded in 2014, Nucleus Vision, this, that, the other thing. Whip it through, and then it just kind of talks about where they're at right now in the stages. You know, fairly ambitious project, which most of these guys are, or most of these projects are becoming more and more ambitious, and I actually think that's pretty cool. But in this space, they are talking about retail. And what I learned actually from that Ian Balina video is that, you know, with his experience through IBM, it sounds like a lot of retailers were looking to take a similar route with this type of data based on people coming into their stores, right? If, you know, if Facebook and all these other platforms can do it, why can't a brick and mortar? Now, what we've seen in terms of e-commerce is more stores going out of business. Think Sears, Toys R Us, whatever. So I don't exactly know how that will fit into this, but the overarching technology can fit into other industries. And as we can see here, you know, they're talking about smart security, smart powered world agriculture. You know, here's the health aspect. Here's the vehicle, yada yada yada. So, you know, fairly ambitious, but I think could be pretty cool. Full disclosure, I have not invested into Nucleus Vision. I've been doing a lot of research just on different projects the last couple days. Again, you know, I did the video on Chain. I'm looking where to kind of invest my tax return money that I will be getting back, and I'm just kind of broadening my horizons. This wasn't in my video in terms of 16 coins that I was looking at, but it keeps popping up and it keeps getting fairly popular. So if we kind of just go over here and check out the token metrics or the economics on the coin, you can make whatever assumptions you want on this. Obviously, this is a huge total supply of 10 billion with a circulating supply of 400 billion. What I do like is that, you know, market cap is basically just over $100 million. There definitely is room to grow. You know, if this catches on and we see this, I think this could easily be a 10x coin, and you know, we'll call it 3 cents. 3 cents to 30 cents I don't think is outlandish to assume. If this starts gaining more popularity, I don't necessarily like to say stuff's going to go 100, 1,000x because I don't know. But I think, you know, in terms of this, if we kind of think about like the retail space, if these are very low cost coins and tokens, you know, when you're buying stuff with it, you need a high supply of a payment device. If you're talking about like a currency, as well as like giving out rewards. It's not like you can have like 22 million of these and just start handing them out as bounties and then people using them to pay. So you know, there is some room here to run, especially at this low price. I don't know how high this will go. You know, some people say $1, some people say more. I think the key with any of these things is just patience and trust. I don't think this is going to do it in 2018. You know, maybe more the rollout that they have on this project. You know, we could see stuff get up there. You know, maybe it matches $1 one day. I don't know. So anyway, that is what I got for you on this one, guys. I think it's a super interesting project. I think it can bring a lot of value to the retail space, and I think it adopting some of the e-commerce technology that is out there. If you guys are familiar with Shopify, like or building an online store, like there's a lot of overlaps in how they're doing this, but from a brick and mortar perspective. So pretty damn cool in that regard. So anyway, that is all I have for you today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, by all means, please do that. Join our community. We have a lot of good contributors that are down in the comment section, you know, providing value, helping me out, saying, hey, I agree here, I disagree. Most conversations are fairly civil, some not so much, about dudes telling me to kill yourself, but I guess that is what you get. So anyway, thank you guys, I appreciate it, and yeah, have a good weekend, and I will check you guys soon. See ya.